Greetings, everyone. Welcome to this webinar where we'll be focusing on Google Workspace for African HEIs. My name is Esetu Stofile, and I work for a wonderful company based out here in Cape Town, South Africa called Cloud EDU, where we specialize on Google services. Now I'll tell you about the company before I introduce my two panel members. So at Cloud EDU, we've got clientele that ranges from the most southerly part of Africa up until the northerly part, where we've got a wide variety of services ranging from professional development, where the primary focus of our professional development strategy is through change management. We also are a tier one Chromebook reseller here in Africa. So anyone who's looking for devices, they know who their partner is. And we also do a lot of technical audits for institutions that have gone Google, but they want to just quickly check what probably their system looks like. And also we do a lot of deployments. So without spending too much time talking about us, I would like to just quickly introduce my two panel members that are going to be taking the stage. Ms. Eleonora, please join us. Tell us who you are.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Eleonora Simeone, and I'm the Workspace for Education Specialist in EMEA. I want to say thank you to Cloud Edu for this invitation, and I'm looking forward to giving you with an overview on Google Workspace for Education.
Awesome.
Before we start, we can move to the next slide. Before we start, let's take a look together and a step back to some considerable trends affecting nowadays higher education institutions. From our Google Education team, we understand your educators are facing big challenges. They have done for some time, and given the context we are now living in, these challenges have led to even a further impact. We noticed that there is a low student engagement, data security threats, plagiarism, and a disparate educational tools. Overall, what stands out to our mind is that more than 24.5 million sensitive records have affected since 2025, caused by more than 1,300 data breaches. There have been twice the amount of cyber attacks affecting education institutions each year. And guess, universities are the primary target sometimes. And of course, internal challenges like anti-plagiarism, like it's in an age where, well, that's just not so easy to do. Moving to the next slide. So this leads us to understand how we are building tools to help you deal with these common trends based on your feedbacks. As you can see, as part of our commitment to enabling impactful teaching for everyone and from anywhere, we see more than 170 million students and educators are using Google Workspace for Education globally, including over 80 of the US News and World Report, top 100 colleges, and many Ivy League universities. However, today, we are talking about your universities. We are talking about the decision you can take now and the far-reaching impact that your choices have on thousands of educators and students. It's a huge responsibility, and the spotlight has never been so clear on education leaders like yourself today. Next. So just to let you know, what the previous slide didn't tell you is that just before 2017, we were reaching 90 million students and educators. Since then, we have been growing exponentially. And now we are very honored to say that over 170 millions of users that have become part of Google Workspace for Education. Of course, I guess you can see how quickly the acceleration has occurred and how these accelerations has also impacted on our joint efforts to boost our product. Considering just, for example, Google Meet, it counts today with hundreds of features updates since the moment of its inception. Moving to the next. Mm-hmm. Now that we understand the landscape, I will give a very high-level review of Google Workspace for Education. So everything started with Google Workspace for Education Fundamental, a powerful free suite of tools that enabled collaborative learning opportunities on a secure platform. It includes documents, sheets, slide, Gmail, calendar, and other functionalities. We have then introduced on our paid edition offering more premium functionality in addition to the suite of tools in Fundamental, and they've broken out in two main categories. For example, looking at our Education Standard Edition, which offers advanced security tools against phishing and spamming, as an example, and help you to defend against threats, detect and prevent security incidents, and most of all, protect students and faculty data. Going to the Teaching and Learning Edition, which has been designed specifically for the academic staff. It offers top-notch capabilities in our digital learning environment with enhanced video communication, enriched class experiences, and premium Google Meet features. But now, let's imagine you want to have all these capabilities I've mentioned above in the most comprehensive edition. Certainly here, the answer is Education Plus. This is our most comprehensive solution that offers all of the features and functionalities found in the teaching and learning and in the education standard, ready to bring your institution's ecosystem to the next level, while maintaining a secure and safe environment for all educators and students. We can move to the next. As you can see, if we take a closer look to Education Plus Edition, we have included advanced security analytics, teaching and learning capabilities, and even more. I just want to mention a few of the ones that are very appreciated by our users. For example, live streaming with up to 100,000 viewers with Google Meet and 500 attendees in Meet calls. Cloud Search, which is a very powerful search engine which makes it easy to find information within your organization's content source. And finally, document approvals that helps you to review, approve, and share feedbacks on any specific shared document you're working with your colleagues. On to the next. From a security and insight perspective, we help you in different ways. To get proactive security tools, of course, which can help you to prevent and detect and remediate to these threats. To gain holistical control, so we will provide you a centralized access and security management. And then to explore analytics and insight, which will help you to provide more visibility across your institution. And of course, going to the next here, I want to mention how we are helping you to stay ahead of the latest digital threats. Let me just point out to any of the features I find helpful for you to stay ahead of these issues. We have the Security Dash, a tool that will help you to get a quick overview of important security metrics across your organization, such as spam volume, email authentication, and Google Drive sharing. The Investigation tool, it helps to take action on security and privacy concerns in your domain. It helps you to find and erase malicious emails, make those emails and spam or phishing, and mark them as dangerous, analyze fact sharing, and much more. Alistair will take the lead later on this tool and show you how powerful it can be for your institution. As a last, I want also to draw the attention on security health and the security sandbox, which will help you to proactively scan email and attachment and help you to secure your digital environment. Just to give you some good information about the investigation tool, I thought it would be helpful to highlight a few areas where our customers found really useful. For example, we have a major university called Oxford Brookes. They were very keen onto the premium workspace for Education Plus Edition. They wanted to gain access to the investigation tool to help find, track, isolate, and delete undesirable files within the domain. Literally, you can delete malicious phishing attempts with just a few clicks. Into the next, what about holistic controls from the domain? Within our paid edition, we have added the following functionality, which our university customers have been asking for, as the Advanced Mobile Device Management, which provides you the ability to control data and devices, not just on iOS, Chrome, or Android, but even Windows 10 devices, which can also be securely managed from the Google Admin Console. Being able to verify and roll devices across campus can reduce greatly the security risks. Then we have dynamic groups. It helps you to automatically adding and remove users to group based on fields. For example, maybe the user is a history lecturer and the history automatically gets added to a group that you have created for social sciences based on your mapping. And finally, we have the context-aware access, which will help you to set granular control based on user identity and more. For example, perhaps you want to ensure your user only use approved enrolled devices, or perhaps you don't want users accessing Drive outside of the country of the IP range of your university. Then this is the great tools that makes for you. Going to the next. What we really notice in Google for Education is that the word is definitely changing. The work is not perceived anymore as a place, but is perceived as a space. Using advanced video conferencing has never been so critical for educators and students. We hear that premium functionalities in Meet are really important to universities. For example, the ability to record lectures or have live translated captions to support international students, or meeting transcription to save on note-takings. And then another particular one is the breakout rooms functionality, which it can also help you to support your students to work in smaller groups and create more engaging and collaborative Meet experiences by adding Q&A and polling. Going to next, I just would like to give an outlook to the additional capabilities that Google Workspace for Education offers. There is a lot we could mention because we have designed the software to support the education community and also to help you drive this industry transformation. As part of the functionalities I have mentioned before, I also would like to highlight that 2-hour edition, the Teaching and Learning, and the Education Plus, they both offer extra storage for your university community. Finally, I'm glad to dig in today into a recent study we have conducted with Forrester. Forrester is one of the top market research consultancy globally, who help us to draw a report to gather information for the total economic impact of moving to Education Plus. So just to give you some context, in order to run this report, Forrester interviewed around 18 decision makers at 10 education institutions, which experience using Education Plus. The collective experience of those who have been interviewed brought together to the result of this analysis, as you can see in this deck. As you can see, there are some incredible statistics which really demonstrate the positive impacts of Education Plus across these organizations. I would just mention the few and the ones for us that are really very impactful. As you can see, there is a 95% of reduction in the number of phishing attempts that have been experienced by these specific universities as a result. They helped to prevent from risk mitigations, and as a result of this, we almost consolidate the 98% of reduction of IT labor to resolve those phishing accidents. The report that you see here, of course, it's a return on investment report, but it is also very good to address the time saving, because for many institutions, as we know, time saving is a very crucial and beneficial aspect. So it is good to highlight that these institutions have been able to save up to $16,000 worth of IT admin time over the 3 years frame. And finally, finalizing this presentation, I would love to encourage you to get in touch with Cloud EDU and gain access to the free trial. There's no better way to get to understand a product than gain to access and explore it by yourself. So thank you for your time, and I'll pass the word to Alistair from Cloud ADU. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Eleonora. Thank you for that wonderful overview of the products and the paid editions. And it's really good to see some of those statistics coming out. We knew that COVID had an impact on education. We know that COVID had impact here in Africa. And it's just, we knew we were working with schools and universities and institutions across the continent, helping them get into the cloud. And so it's great to see some of those statistics that you've mentioned, the growth you've seen in Google Classroom and the Google Toolset. That's certainly what we've seen on the ground. Thank you also for the overview. It is a vast product. There are several value propositions in there. My job is to kind of, as you said, give you an understanding and a practical demonstration of one of them, which is we call the investigation tool. Again, for those of you that are on the call today and watching us, thank you for joining us. And I'm the technical person on the propeller head in the background. I'm going to try not to bore you. One of the key areas which you've mentioned, Eleonora, was phishing and email attacks that are being hit. It's a problem for all of us across the world, never mind education institutions. So my job is to give you a practical demonstration. Normally at this particular point in time, when you're doing a practical demonstration, it's when it completely fails. So hopefully it's not going to fail on me. So this is my Gmail interface. You all may be familiar with that. I have sent myself an inappropriate email, or an email that could be a phishing attack. You can actually say, I've actually said that this could be a phishing attack, just so I can identify the correct mail. Email that comes in and out of your Gmail environment, inside of your Google Workspace environment, is very structured data, believe it or not. I know it may not feel like that on quite a regular basis, but it is structured data. And when we click on that particular email, I may be trying to identify, let me give you some use cases, an inappropriate emails being sent from a member of the faculty to a student, or potentially between students, or potentially between faculty. It's an HR issue, and time is of the essence. You need to make sure that you identify and delete, or be able to deal with that email as quickly as possible. And in that ROI document and the numbers at the end, Eleonora very carefully picked out the saving to admin. This used to be a task that took 2 to 3 hours, and I'm going to show you this in real time. So we're going to assume that this email that I've put here is inappropriate. Every single email on your system has a number of identifiers, like the subject, the content of the email. One of those, if I click on show original, is the message ID. So I want to be very, very targeted in finding a very specific email on my system. I'm going to copy that message ID. There we go. And I'm going to jump across to my admin console. For those of you that are not familiar with the admin console, this is the web dashboard where I can control my entire workspace environment. And one of those cards is called security, and I'm going to click on security. Now, if you don't know what the paid editions is and you're still on fundamentals, these two cards, the security health and the investigation tool, are ones that you would not have seen before. I'm going to click on the investigation tool, and it's going to take me into a tool that allows me to search the log files that are being collected all day, every day by Google in a secure manner so that I can search them. So the first point to note here is, with Plus, the number of data sources that is collected by Google on your behalf so that you can search them safely and securely is extended. In the fundamentals, you have 4 or 5. Here we have multiple different data sources. That's the first thing. The second thing to note here is the time period of which Google keeps these for you is extended to 6 months. So a full 6 months. The particular data source that I'm going to reference now is Gmail messages. I'm going to add a condition, and that particular condition is a message ID. And I'm going to go ahead and paste my message ID that I copied a little bit earlier into this box. As soon as I click on search, again, for you IT administrators out there, maybe for those of you that are in management, this is a new field for you, but this would have taken a considerable amount of time to search through your whole database to find this email. With Google and the Plus edition and the investigation tool, less than 3 seconds. Once I've identified that email, I am now able to action it. Firstly, I get a whole lot of detailed information about the email. Did it meet international best practice and standard of being sent? Did it meet an SPF, DCAM, and DMARC record? The entire route of how it got into my email inbox, the raw header itself, and if I need to, I'm able to click on the message. Now, this is obviously a security concern, so a business justification box will jump up, and I'll just type in their webinar, and I can click on confirm, and I will get a copy of the message. Yes, this is the message that is inappropriate, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that message. It's going to pop up a confirmation box, which I'll just need to type in that entire message just above there, and I'll delete. And within 3 seconds, that email is now deleted from all affected email inboxes. So the speed at which I am able to search, find, triage, and then action and deal with an inappropriate email, and that could be 10, 15, 100 emails, that's that 95% saving. Incredible. So we're going to close the original email. We're going to jump back to my email inbox. Alistair, it's still there. Yes, it's cached in the browser. So we're just going to refresh the browser, and that email is now gone. It has been completely removed from my email inbox. I'm going to jump back to my investigation tool. I'm going to restore the message. And this time I just need to refresh the inbox itself. And that email is back inside my email box within seconds. I see it's dropped further down. Sorry, it was higher up in my important. It's now lower down. It is there. So what you have in the investigation tool is the ability to identify and look for security concerns, to be able to action them, and to be able to triage them. One final one I'll just show you very quickly is you can also search your drive data across your entire institution. This is one that I've shown administrators before. And this time I'm going to say document type, search in my Google Drive across my entire domain, and please go and find the MP4 files, all the video files. This is not as structured as email, so it does take slightly longer, but with Google, it does take a couple of seconds before I get an entire list of all the MP4s on my system. I could add that with another condition. So for example, I could say visibility is it's open to the public on the web. How has somebody shared it? So again, an incredible tool set with a very strong database that allow me to triage that. So Eleonora, just building on what you said, you gave us the wonderful overview. I just scratched the surface on one of those tools. In due course, we're going to be having several other webinars, but thank you very much. And Esetu, back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Alistair. Eleonora, thank you so much for affording us this wondrful time. And Alistair, I totally appreciate your wisdom, your technical wisdom. Colleagues,
wizardry, some say wizardry.
Yeah, listen, you know, I just wanted to give both of you a new title. Do you mind if I call you two thought leaders in EdTech with different specializations? Because I think at this moment, we really do need people who can share some wonderful experiences and also try and inspire us to understand what product can work. And I'm so glad, Eleonora, you spoke about the free product. I just want to quickly speak about the free trial. For those institutions that are currently on fundamentals, you can obviously contact Cloud EDU if you would like to have an exploration in terms of what can this paid for product. I mean, what Alistair has just shown you in terms of the investigation of those type of mails that you can't experience on fundamentals immediately. You can only experience that if you're using the paid product, which is the Education Plus. So you get 50 free licenses for 60 days. So for entire 60 days, you can have those 50 licenses that you can work within your organization to just figure out whether this is a product that can work for you. So I would encourage any institution right across Africa, if you are currently on fundamentals package, please make sure that you contact us, and then we'll gladly assist you in terms of that migration process. Mr. Payne, for those that are currently not on fundamentals, and they said, listen, we love what we're hearing here, and we would like to at least get started with the journey. We want to get started with the Google journey. What can they do, sir?
Well, the most critical thing is to contact us.
Absolutely.
Getting the system set up in a safe manner that is it applies international best practice and standards for education is very important. The stitch in time saves 9. So the critical thing is to get hold of us, and we've got the email address on the screen there. Please do contact us. We're very keen to have conversations with all of you.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I know that there will be a lot of questions. Please make sure that you use the chat feature on the side. For those that want to have a deeper understanding and maybe you want to have a consult with us, please make sure that you use that email address so that we are able to follow up with those and we set up meetings with you and your team so that we can have a better and a longer conversation whereby we are able to better understand what are your organizational needs and what it is that Cloud EDU with Google as our partner. What can we do to actually assist you? Thank you so much to you wonderful panel members, Ms. Eleonora and Alistair Payne for sharing your thoughts. And thank you for everyone who's been able to sit in this wonderful webinar. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel so that you are always going to be in the loop of what is currently happening within the Google world. So subscribe to our channel and looking forward to the next session. With those few words, I would like to close the session. Thank you so much, and goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much.